Hey there, it's Dave Altavilla for Hot Hardware here with the Dell XPS 13-inch Ultrabook. This is the latest revision of the machine. It is new for the end of 2016, and as you can see here, we are working with the rose gold variant, which is a really nice sort of copper color, brushed aluminum materials on the top and bottom of the machine. They call it rose gold. Also new for this machine is Intel's 7th generation Core Series processor, which is powering it, aka Kaby. And specifically, we've got a Core i7-7500U powering this notebook. We took a look at the XPS 13 earlier this year with its Skylake platform, with Intel's Skylake platform, but we figured we'd give you a quick little nickel tour of this refresh and this beautiful new rose gold color. First, let's step through some basic specs of the XPS 13 that you are looking at here today. Again, this is the latest version of the machine based on Intel's 7th generation Core Series Kaby Lake processor technology. Specifically, it's powered by an Intel Core i7-7500U dual-core processor, boosts to 3.5 gigahertz top speed, and it's also built with 8 gig of DDR3 system memory and a 256 gig NVMe Toshiba solid-state drive. As you can see, boots to the desktop real snappy here, where we are greeted by that gorgeous Infinity Edge display strapped with Corning Gorilla Glass NBT, but beautiful display. Super thin bezel, 400 nits of brightness, really great contrast and pop here, and just can't say enough about it. One of the best notebook displays in the business by far, and certainly put Dell's XPS line on the map with its innovation and just the whole design. Really trims things down. Nice, beautiful display as configured and presented here to you. $1,649 with that rose gold option on the exterior. $50 upcharge for rose gold. Standard pricing for this machine is $15.90. Now, the keyboard area of the XPS 13, of course, is backlit, and you've got chiclet style keycaps here with good travel, good tactility, fairly spacious, nice layout with good spacing between the keycaps, but it is a 13.3-inch machine, essentially in a 12-inch form factor. Because of that Infinity Edge display, they're able to trim the profile down on the machine, so it is a little bit more cramped in here for larger hands. However, with a little bit of learning curve, you'll get up that pretty well and be flying on this typing deck before you know it. And the trackpad is very spacious and responsive with multi-touch gesture support for things like pinch and zoom and two-finger swiping. But the real star of the show here is that beautiful hybrid carbon fiber construction that's around the wrist rest area. Gives it a really nice premium feel and look. Very subtle, subdued, sort of hatched pattern, and really adds to the aesthetic of the machine. Beautiful layout and beautiful presentation with that carbon fiber on the XPS 13. And here's a quick look at the XPS 13's power brick. Really small, rounded corners, really not a brick at all. Sort of stylish for an AC adapter, actually, and fits into a travel bag as a result nicely, as you might imagine. Taking a quick look around at the ports on the edge of the machine, you've got a power port here, Thunderbolt port, USB 3, headphone jack, and a little power indicator strip for battery level. And right here, you probably might have a tough time seeing that, but there's actually a little speaker grill right there. And on the right side of the machine here, you've got a lock port, USB 3 port, a full-size SD card slot, yay for that, and another speaker port. So stereo speakers in the XPS 13. And I would offer that volume and bass is decent here for a 13-inch machine, but again, within expectations. You're talking about notebook audio here, so nothing too deep or full going on in the low end, but respectable audio from a 13-inch notebook. Finally, in terms of mechanical design aspects, let's take a look at an area of notebook design that I find important. In the age of 360-degree hinges, not all machines are designed that way, obviously, where a notebook display will fully articulate 360 degrees into tablet mode, for example. The XPS 13 has a standard hinge design, as you can see, and it doesn't even open 180 degrees to fully horizontal flat here on the table. However, this is what I would call counter height capable. So it's enough swing, just enough swing, opens wide enough that an average height person standing over the notebook at counter height will be able to open this display and get an optimal viewing angle. So nice to see that nice wide swing that again gets that display to give you the optimal viewing angle when standing over it at counter height. And wrapping things up on performance, Intel's 7th generation Core Series processor technology Kaby Lake offers generally about a 10 or 12% performance lift across most applications from what we've seen thus far versus the previous generation Skylake platform. And indeed, that is what we're seeing now with the XPS 13. Here running 3D Mark Skydiver, a 3D benchmark for gaming and graphics, we do see roughly about a 10% lift in this application. And in general, that's what we're seeing across the board. So nice to have a little bit of extra performance lift under the hood. In terms of battery life, the previous generation Dell XPS 13 with Skylake was a mid-range performer for a 13-inch machine. We expect to see more of the same, maybe a little bit better battery life from this Kaby Lake variant now, but we are still stepping through the benchmarks there. So make sure you stop by HotHardware in the weeks ahead for our full review with all the details and analysis. I'm Dave Altavilla for HotHardware with Dell's XPS 13 Ultrabook, now infused with Intel Kaby Lake technology. Thanks for stopping by.